All right, I'm going to teach you the cursive writing strokes. So in cursive writing, we have 5 strokes. We have the upswing, the tall upswing, the overcurve, the dip, and the dip to overcurve, which is the overcurve and the dip connected. So we're going to start with the upswing. The first thing you see on your cursive writing practice paper is the stroke with the direction that your pencil should go. So the upswing starts at the baseline, and it's like a slant, but it's curved. So think of it the way you might throw a ball. If you're throwing it underhanded, like gently, it kind of curves and goes up. Now we're going to try to mimic these as best we can, and if you want to trace these light ones to help your hand learn a motion, this is a lot of muscle memory. So make sure you're using a pencil, make sure you have a good firm writing surface, a table or a desk, and that you're sitting in a chair where you can sit up straight with good posture. And we're going to practice starting at the baseline and doing your upswing to the midline. That one got a little tall. I'm going to keep practicing for this line, and I'm going to pause as I practice and make sure that I'm still keeping to this shape. We don't want to practice the wrong way. I'm going to fill up this line, starting at the baseline, upswing to the midline. And I'm going to go back and look, and I think this one is pretty good. I think this last one is pretty good. And I think this one is the one that if I had to throw one of them away, that's the one I would throw away. Then I'm going to keep practicing, but I'm going to stop periodically and check to make sure I'm practicing correctly. Now, I can practice these pretty quickly, and I can practice them and talk at the same time, because I learned how to do this a really long time ago, and I've been practicing this for a really long time. I'm not going to tell you how long. But this is something that for you might take a lot of slow, thoughtful practice. Think about when you were learning to ride your bike or learning to write in print. At first it was really slow, and you had to really think about which way to move your pencil and where to stop your pencil. This is that. And your parents might have saved your baby writing, your kindergarten writing, or your pre-K writing because it's special. In the same way, we're not erasing our bad ones. We're going to leave them because they show where we've come from. Okay? So we're not going to use our eraser here. You'll notice on the back of your paper, you have tons of more lines. We have plenty of space to practice. No eraser. Right? So that's the upswing. The next stroke is called the tall upswing. And it's just like this upswing, but it's tall. And so in the same way, I can trace these just to teach my muscles that movement. And once my muscles know the movement, I can keep going. Now, this has a curve to it. It is not this. Okay? It is also not this. What is this? Right, that's a J. We have to start at the baseline and go up. In cursive, all of our letters in a word connect, so it's very important that we always move from left to right and we follow the direction that our letters are made. Okay. So as I get to the end of the line, I'm going to check. I think this one might be my favorite. I think this one might be my least favorite. It's not as smooth in there. And practice a little bit more. We're going almost to the line above, but not all the way. Just like in your print handwriting, go almost to the line above. Taking our time, starting at the baseline, checking as we go. Maybe this one got a little short. That one's a little short. Remember, it's really important that we don't practice doing it incorrectly. So if you want to stop after one line and get someone to look at it, maybe stop after one line and practice some more, you can do that. I really like I really like this one, and I think this would be the one I would throw away. I'm using a check mark. All right, this one is like a sad face. We start at the left at 10 on the clock, and we make a little bump. Okay, like a hat maybe, or a sad face, but we're at the midpoint. We're starting at 10 and we're going around the clock to 2, from 10 to 2. Try to keep it as round as you can. I think this one did a really nice job of being nice and even. Give it a little star. This one looks like got a little smushed. Okay. Let's see. Do our other practices. From 10 to 2 around the clock. Taking our time. I'd rather you do fewer and do a good job than do a whole bunch of them and have them all be wrong. Then you're teaching your muscles that wrong movement. Okay. Notice that I started going up past the midpoint. I really like this one. I'm going to put a check mark on this one just because it's way too high up. Alright, the dip is just like the overcurve except it's the bottom. We're going from 8 on the clock to 4 on the clock. And we use this to connect a lot of letters. A lot of letters that end at the midpoint to letters that start at the midpoint, they have this dip at the end. And I'll often call it a smile because it looks like a smile. So from 8 on the clock to 4 on the clock. I was reading an article in the news about some people who are hiking. Hiking is walking in the woods, and they got in a scary situation that they needed to get out of the woods. And they said, hikers know that slow is steady and steady is fast. And I really liked that because that means if you take your time and be really careful about what you're doing, you won't make as many mistakes. And that will eventually get you there faster. So I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I like that one. I also like this one. I know these look all very similar to me, but I'm going to say I would throw this one away if I had to get rid of one of them. Okay. So slow is steady. Ooh, that's way too big. That's like 9 to 3. I should go ahead and mark that one as an oops. Slow is steady and steady is fast. We use this to connect like a W to an A or an O or a C. We use the dip and then this next move, the dip to the overcurve. Okay. This one connects the dip and the overcurve into this kind of like an S shape. So we're going to start over here like we're going from 8 to 4, do our dip, and then go straight into the overcurve. Notice that this point and this point should be pretty much straight. Okay? This is the end of one letter and this is the beginning of the next letter. So dip to an overcurve. I have to think about this one a little bit more. I can't jabber quite as much. Okay. think I like this one best. And maybe this one the least because it's kind of flat. I'll practice a few more. I noticed I started going too fast and they started getting a little more sloppy. Okay. This one got real big and pulled out. I really like this one and this one. I think I started well and ended well. Alright, so there's our strokes. You might come back and practice them. I'm going to post this as one video for all 5, and then I'll also break it up to where you can just look at one stroke at a time if you need it. Good job, guys. I'm excited to do this with you.